the audience. Like, they got it. Because sometimes on Facebook, they're confused and they ask him. Okay. But actually, it's kind of like the best, nickname ever because he has truly broken ground and inspired the next generation. Please welcome Buck Angel.
I really am Grandpa. I have gray pubic hair now. Titles need to be Grandpa. But, my dear friend, we go back very far. And I had to think, when she asked me to come here tonight, I have to be a gentleman, because I know some dirty little secrets about her. She acts all like nothing happened. But I'm not going to talk about those stories this evening. Everyone wants to hear it. I remember the first time I met Tristan and Colton, by the way. And it was in New Orleans, where I used to live, which is an amazing, beautiful city. And they called me up and they said, we're going to this party and we'd love to invite you, and me and my wife at the time. And I thought, wow, this is going to be so fun to hang out with Tristan. And I just got into the adult business and I just started to do my stuff. And she came over and we started talking about, my work. And I said, I'm going to start doing this work and I'm going to be called the man with the pussy. And she was like, wow. Wow. Of course she said it. She was like, because everybody else was like, that's weird. You can't do that. And Tristan was like, that's amazing. What a fucking awesome idea. This is going to be like the most amazing thing that ever happened to the porn world. And I was like, 10 years later, finally everybody got it. She got it. Colton got it. So that night we decided, after talking about the man and the pussy, we decided that we were going to go out to a party, to a fetish party. So we got all dressed up and I got into my leathers and I was full. Remember where I'm living. Don't forget that part of the story. New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Right. So then I'm in my leathers. Hardcore leatherman that I am. Serious hardcore chaps, and I was actually even thinking not to wear jeans underneath, but I thought I better wear jeans to the party before I get there. Then I can take the jeans off. And so we all pile into the car, and we're jamming down the street, and we're going through this. I lived in the French Quarter, which is a pretty amazing, very special, amazing place. And there we are driving, and we're talking, and we're chatting, because we just got to really know each other. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm leaning around talking to her, and she's looking at me, and I think Tristan was sitting next to me, my wife was sitting behind me, and Colton was sitting next to her. And next thing I know, I'm like looking in the back of in my rearview mirror, and what do I see? Lights. Red lights. And Louisiana lights. And you don't want to see the police in Louisiana. So I'm like, just pretending like I don't see the lights. I don't want to tell them in the back seat that the cops are about to pull us over. And I'm thinking, what the hell did I just do? We were just driving around, having a great time, getting to this amazing party that we're going to go to. And the guy's following. And I turn right, left, right, kind of trying to lose the cop. I was thinking, oh, shit. So finally I decide to tell everybody. Well, you guys, there's cops behind us right now, and we're going to get pulled over. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, they've been following us for a couple of blocks. They're like, well, what did you do? And I'm like, I don't know what I did. I have no idea what I did. So they're like, well, then pull over. You said that. Tristan said, pull over. And I'm like, and Colton, the silent guy that he is, never said a word. And I'm just like, okay. So I pull over, and this big black cop gets out of the car. And I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm totally screwed because I'm a white dude in leather with a bald head. And tattoos. You can't forget the tattoos.
And if he doesn't recognize you as a leather daddy,
right,
he thinks you're a skinhead.
Racist. Total white racist skinhead. Because that's kind of what I look like. But no, I'm just a leather man. I swear, with a vagina. Can't forget the vagina. So my head, thinking as fast as it can, because that's what happens when you're a guy like me and you have to think all the time, like how to get out of situations. The vagina saves you all the time, by the way. So he's walking up, and I'm just like, shit, my stomach's, because I hadn't been pulled over forever. And remember, I used to be a lady. And now I'm a dude. So I'm trying to think about all the situations. I've never gone to jail as a dude with a vagina. Gone to jail as a lady with a vagina, but not as a dude. And I'm thinking, fuck, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. And everyone said, calm down, calm down. You're like, calm down. I'm sweating. And the guy goes, so, sir, do you know what you did? And I'm like, no. I have no idea what I did. And everyone's like, I remember, was it Colton or you, or maybe it was Elaine's going, what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? And everybody's in the car, what did he do? What did he do? And I'm like, shut up. Let me just take care of this. So I'm like, sir, I don't know. And I'm like, he's like, your driver's license, your registration, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like trying to get it all, shaking and freaking out. And then I give it to him and he goes, well, what you did is you made a left turn without using my signal. And in Louisiana, well, I'll get to this in a minute, because this is the best part of the story. So I'm like, okay, sir, well, I'm so sorry. Actually, we're going to a party. He goes, get out. Get out now. And I'm just hesitating. He's like, okay, turn around. And I'm like, shit, I'm so screwed. And Tristan's face turned white. And everyone's like, oh my God, what's going on? And I turn around and he takes my hands like this. He takes my other hand and puts them in handcuffs. And I'm like, but sir, he's like, shut up. But sir, a left-hand turn, isn't that only a ticket? And everyone in the car, including Tristan, is like, but he only made a left-hand turn, Please let him go. I swear to God, we won't do it again. I promise. And everyone's just saying stuff, and I'm like, shut up. You can't do that when the cop pulls you over. You have to be chill. So I'm trying to be chill. I think I even peed a little bit. Because I was going to jail in Louisiana. In leather. As a leather man, not as a racist white skinhead. And then he proceeds to say, well, guess what, sir? Your driver's license says California. And in the state, I said, but I live here. I lived here for 3 years. He goes, but here's the catch. In Louisiana, if you have an out-of-state license and you do any kind of traffic infraction, we can take you to jail. It's, swear to God, not lying. I wish I was. Not lying. So then he says, and guess what? You're lucky. You're my last person going to jail this evening. No, that's when I did pee, actually. And I got handcuffed. Tristan's face, Colton's face, and my ex-wife's face dropped. They were just in shock. And everybody was like, please don't take him, please. Because they all knew I had never been to jail as a man with a vagina. I was freaked out. And next thing you know, I'm there in the park jail where they're putting you through. And I'm sitting there like, next thing you know, they're telling me, take off all my clothes. Take off all my clothes. And I remember that night I wore the chaps with jeans, and I thought, does it look good without a packer or with a packer? With a packer or without a packer? I never wear a packer, clearly. But that night I wore a packer. I fucking wore a packer. So they made me take everything off except my underwear, but I had a dick. I had a dick. So I took all my clothes off, and there I was in my white, tighty whities with dick. And everyone's looking at me, and then you have to go through this whole part. And they ask you all these questions about your health. How are you? What kind of mental health do you have? Is there anything we should know? You better think fast, dude. Think fast. What should I say? I have a vagina? Should I say I'm a trans man? Should I say? So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to say, yes, you should know that I am a transsexual man. This was in 2001. Wow. 2001. So what, the guy, next thing I know, he's like, okay, write something down. They put me through, make me put my clothes all back on again, put me through, and all these dudes, I'm walking by cages of guys, just like, we can't get away, we can't wait to get you, we're gonna fuck the shit out of you, and I'm just like, I'm dead, I'm totally dead. And then they put me in a cell with an old man, an older woman prostitute, and me. And I'm like, that's weird. How come I'm in this cell? And then it came to me. I realized he thought I said homosexual because they never heard of transsexuals then. So there I sit all night long, thank God that I'm a homosexual, in the cage with the old man, the lady, and me. Finally, literally 24 hours in there, freezing, going to the toilet in the middle of the room. In the middle of the room, you have to pee and poop in the middle of the room. Okay, so I'm just like, I hope no one sees my vagina, and I'm just like covering it up, and you can't hold it for that long. Finally, Colton and Joanne came and got me. And I think Tristan was at a party for the rest of the night. Anyway, I love you, Tristan. You're amazing, and that was the scariest story of my life. But I always remember it, and I always remember how Colton was there for my wife, and it was a shocking experience for all of us. But I survived it, and I'm here today, and one of my very best friends is Tristan. And so I feel very blessed.
But I will confess something which anyone who knows me knows is absolutely 100% true. I fell asleep. Right? So they stayed up all night. And by 3:30 in the morning, I was asleep. And we met this bail bondsman. That was the first time I'd ever met a bail bondsman in Louisiana. As we explained the situation to him. Wow, I had forgotten that story.
It's a great story.
I always use my left-hand turn signal.
Right.
And,
Be nice to police. That's the moral of the story.
Be nice to police. Oh my God. That was a good story. That was a really good story. Okay, so our final storyteller, and let me tell you what's coming up after storytelling. So after storytelling, there's going to be a real-life game show called What Do You Know About...
I swear it wasn't me.
You can't hear this, but there are sirens. Listener audience, you can't hear this, but there are sirens going, and they're obviously coming for Buck Angel. They've tracked you down. They did. Oh my God. Okay, so after this, there's going to be this game show. It's called What Do You Know About Tristan? And people are going to play. There's going to be trivia. There's going to be really probably embarrassing questions. I don't even know all the questions. And the people who are playing are some of my good friends, and they're going to be playing for people in the audience. So it's your chance to win prizes. But that's what's next. But first, when she started the porn site, burningangel.com, she actually started a revolution. She has won all the awards. She has been on all the magazine covers. She is smart. She is sexy. But I think she doesn't get enough credit for something else. She's an amazing entrepreneur and businesswoman.
Right on.
Woo-hoo. Welcome to the stage, Joanna Angel. You want to just do this for her?
Oh, I was just going to stress me out to use the paper.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay. Whew, okay, I'm just going to speak from my heart and this piece of paper. Once upon a time, I was in college. And in college, I didn't have that much sex. Not as much as I was probably supposed to, and not nearly as much as my friends were having. I spent time doing other things, like trying to stop people from wearing leather, or eating cheese, or hamburgers, or furiously organizing letter writing campaigns to get Mumia Abu-Jamal out of death row, stuff like that. Anyway, if I could have just swallowed a pill that would have stopped me from being horny, I would have. It was like this annoying itch in the middle of my back all the time that I couldn't quite scratch. Did I like boys? Did I like girls? I wasn't really sure, but I had way too much thick, stubbly, ingrown hairs starting from my crotch, going halfway down my thighs. And I didn't think either of the sexes deserved any of that, so I chose to focus on other things. Anyway, my friends had a lot more sex than I did. They were like really good at it. Feminists and activists, they were just so proud of their sexuality. It was like they were just born with sexuality. And I couldn't ask them for any advice because I was like in the beginner's class of sex and they were like in the AP advanced class of sex. They were doing it with more than like one person at a time. You know, sometimes they'd all do it together. I could barely get it down with one person and I was just embarrassed. I didn't know how to talk to them about it. So fast forward through a few more years of very awkward sexual experiences with a handful of New Jersey's finest men and women. I did see an ad in the school newspaper for a panel in New York City, and it was a panel on feminism and sexuality and pornography. And it struck my interest because it was something I wanted to know more about. And by that point, Mumia's death sentence had been vacated, so I really had nothing to do. That was out of the way, and it was time to focus on other things. I arrived at the panel, and I read the descriptions of the women speaking. One was named Tristan Taormino. In her description, on the pamphlet handed out, it mentioned that she just published a book called The Ultimate Guide to Anal Sex for Women. And I was like, I truly did not know that that particular hole was supposed to be used for pleasure, and I barely understood what the other hole was capable of. My brain was on overload, and I took a seat in the front row with a notebook and a pen, ready to learn how smart, interesting people had sex. And I remember, this was many years ago, like 15 years ago or something like that, when Tristan spoke, I suddenly felt a comfort with sex that I truly never had. She was funny, she was dorky, she was quirky, and she was smart, and she was interesting. She was not your typical, I am a woman, hear me roar, college feminist. She made me comfortable, she made me laugh, and she really made me want to try a butt plug because she brought a whole suitcase full of them. And she was squeezing them into these Skyver skin buttholes with lube on it, really matter-of-factly. So that night, I took home a sparkly butt plug and a copy of The Ultimate Guide to Anal Sex for Women. So a few weeks later, I had anal sex with a guy in my college bedroom. And then fast forward to 2 years later, I was having anal sex again, but this time on camera for the world to see. Tristan, you made me go from geek to freak, or just a freaky geek, because I'm always going to be a geek. I can't explain what you have done for me. There would truly be no Joanna Angel without Tristan Taormino. And in fact, actually, Tristan, I was Tristan before I was Joanna Angel because, ironically, shortly after I had anal sex for the first time, and a little before I became a porn star, I became a stripper. It's all your fault. And I remember my first night at the strip club, I was told I shouldn't use my real name. My real name's Joanna. And I said, well, I don't know what name to pick. And they said, well, just pick like a woman that you look up to or something. So my stripper name was Tristan. Anyway, you have reinvented feminism and you made it make sense for me in my life, and I will forever be grateful to you and your words, and of course, your asshole. Thank you, Tristan.
Joanna Angel. I knew the stripper part. I did know that. I didn't know she was going to tell that story because I do find that really endearing that you picked your stripper name for me. I just fucking love that. But I didn't remember this. I think it was at NYU. This whole college. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. No, well, I didn't talk
and she's like, if you don't know, like you could Google her. She is like the queen of anal sex now. So I think I had a small part in that. It's really, really amazing. Okay. Okay. Wow. Are you ready to play a game show?
Yeah!
Okay. So we're now moving to the game show portion. And so something that you may have heard on social media, but which is absolutely true, is tonight there are 2 mystery guests. And by that, it was mysterious for you, of course, but they were a mystery to me. I did not know that they were coming, these people, until they arrived. So this is really exciting. And so my first mystery guest drove all the way from Las Vegas. My partner unfollowed her on all my social media so that I didn't know that she was coming. I literally had no idea, and then she just walked into the pleasure chest. She's actually one of the smartest scholars working today. She has been awarded all sorts of things. She's finally going on sabbatical because now she's tenured, which is really important for radical professors to be tenured. And she's also, our lives have been intertwined for quite some time. Please welcome the MC for tonight's show, Lynn Camella. Our contestants are going to come and bring their chairs with them. And